All right, let's go live to Chris Bowen now, speaking on this very issue.
Firstly, I'll make some comments with my esteemed guests, and then after we've done that, I'll give you some comments and a statement about the current energy market and gas situation, particularly on the East Coast. So if I could ask you to hold your questions about that element until after the first half of the press conference. Well, this morning I'm joined by Greg Mullins, former Fire and Rescue Commissioner for New South Wales, Major General Peter Dunn, retired, former Commissioner of ACT Emergency Services, and David Templeman, the former Director General of Emergency Management Australia. These fine Australians represent emergency leaders for climate action. These are the group that Scott Morrison refused to meet with. This morning I met with emergency leaders for climate action. This was my first non-departmental briefing meeting as Climate Change and Energy Minister after being sworn in yesterday afternoon. I wanted to do that because the climate wars should end, and the Albanese Labor government will seek to end the climate wars by real action on climate change, bringing Australians together and listening to Australians of all walks of life, particularly Australians with great expertise. And emergency leaders for climate action have that expertise. They have been warning Australia and Australian governments of the emerging natural disaster crises as a direct result of climate change, and they have been ignored for too long, and Australians have paid a price. So far from shying away from their expert advice and their counsel, I'm honoured by their presence, and I was particularly keen for them to be my first meeting after being sworn in as Climate Change and Energy Minister. Of course, we'll have plenty more to say, the Prime Minister and I, about our approach. We've outlined our plans in Powering Australia, which we will seek and we will implement. We'll seek to implement and we will implement as the new government of Australia. We have been elected with a mandate for real action on climate change, ambitious but achievable action, as outlined in the policies we sought a mandate for and will implement. I'm going to ask Greg, former Commissioner Mullins, to say a few words. Then we'll be happy to take some questions, and then, as I said, we'll let them get on with their day, and then I'll deal with the current energy market situation in the East Coast and take